Go ahead.
Hey everybody, Kenneth Ramon here.
Momager from the Black Heartstrings, Heather Hyatt.
From the Black Heartstrings. Today you guys, we were going to be doing an awesome-tacular movie review for you guys. We just got out of seeing The Exorcist Believer. Now, as you guys know, this is like a sequel, sort of reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, of The Exorcist from 1973. And, I don't know, I have my thoughts on it. Well, first off, let's talk a little bit about the premise so far. Okay, so it starts off, the movie's actually really cool, really intense, starts off in Haiti, alright? You get, like, this father and, his pregnant wife, alright, in, like, this apartment building, and then all of a sudden it starts collapsing, you know, there's a big earthquake going on, and right off the bat, I was, like, biting my nails. I was, like, really, really hooked in the story.
Intense.
How about you?
Yeah, it was intense. I was waiting for, I was waiting for, not goblins, but the Exorcist to come out right then and there. I don't know what I was really expecting.
Yeah, like, I was not expecting that. I was like, whoa, where did this come from? I'm like, okay, alright, I don't know where this movie's gonna go. But I was already intrigued, and it's not really much of a spoiler, but it's kind of, like, important to, like, the movie story. The father has a decision to make. The doctors tell him that he could save his wife or save the baby. He chooses the baby. And then 13 years later, you see like a really protective father. Like really, really protective. He's like, doesn't want his daughter to be out so late with her friends and things like that. And then the father decides, okay, well, I'll let my daughter live a little for one night. So he lets her go out with her friend. And then, mysteriously, in like true horror fashion, they go missing. They go out in the woods for some reason, just like kind of exploring, and then all of a sudden they like fall into a ditch. And then they've been missing for a long time, for like 3 days. Everybody's like searching for them like around town and things like that. You got missing persons, flyers everywhere. They still can't find them, right? And then eventually they find them, and then like the girl was like, oh, sorry, I was out so late. I know I was gone for like a few hours. I don't know what happened. And then the guy's like, honey, you've been gone for 3 days. Like right there, it's like, wow, this movie, I don't know where they're going with it, how it's Exorcist related, but I'm like already hooked. I'm really intrigued in it. And then like, all of a sudden that's where like, it kind of makes that turn into like, an Exorcist movie where like the two girls get like, possessed by a demon or whatever. And it jumps right into it. Like, that's what I noticed compared to, like, the old movie where, like, there's a bit of a build-up going on. Like, you don't know what's wrong with the girl, but you know that something isn't right. And that's what, like, really gets, the suspense going, and, like, gets me all freaked out. What, like, really makes that movie special. This one kind of really just jumps right into it. Okay, we got, like, possessed girls here. And I will give them this. The makeup in this movie is awesome. What did you think about the makeup?
Makeup was good. The storyline was pretty good. The only thing, there's some parts that were really slow, so I went and got a refill on the drink. We changed seats.
Yep.
And then there's one part where they talked for like 15 minutes in the street. I fell asleep, I'm not gonna lie.
She did, she fell asleep. And like, I was like, you know what, Momager, she works hard for our band and whatnot. I'm just gonna let her rest for a little while. She's just sleeping, right? And then all of a sudden, like really good stuff comes. I'm like, okay, Heather, wake up.
No, I heard that's not true. I heard the noise, the music. I wasn't in a deep sleep, so I would hear the music and I would jump. And I did jump a few times. And
speaking of jumping, like, what did you think about the jump scares?
Oh, I don't like them, but that happened before I fell asleep.
Yeah,
there was some jump
that's
scares.
when the movie was still really good, and we were hooked. And then like all of a sudden, like there's like the possessed girls jumping out in front of the glass and things like that out of nowhere. There was one time where like she was like behind his shoulder, just out of nowhere, just came out of nowhere and then popped in and then popped out. That was really cool. But I'm not a fan of jump scares. I don't know, it's kind of cheap, in my view. And the original didn't rely on jump scares at all. It was just naturally terrifying without there being anything like popping out at you. So yeah, let me go into that. The first half of the movie, I'm hooked, I'm intrigued, I really want to watch more, I want to see where this whole thing goes. Second half, where it becomes an Exorcist movie, not only was it boring, but it wasn't scary to me. Like, like I said, the makeup was amazing. There's one girl who looks a lot like the original girl in the movie with like the makeup. Like they went all out on like doing the prosthetic face and things like that, and the makeup amazing. Like you could tell it's actually practical effects and not CGI, with like some of their kills and whatnot in the movie. But yeah, man, the second half I was just. It's
Kind
like
of itchy for it to get over, and
yeah, and they were trying too hard for it to be something that it's not. You know, they're trying to do an Exorcist movie, but it just didn't work. And they waited so long to make this movie. And I did some research. The original director of the Exorcist from 1973 recently passed away, like 2 months ago. So I don't know. Like maybe they just decided, oh, now he's gone. Let's just put this out there.
oh,
Or I have no idea what it was. I know that the director of this movie is the guy who did all the Halloween reboots, David Gordon Green. He came back for this one. And it definitely shows in like the production. It feels like a David Gordon Green production. But yeah, I thought that was kind of strange in itself. And it's just, let's talk about the mother from the original coming back to this movie. And that was a big selling point throughout this movie. I remember watching the trailer. She was in most of it. Like, okay, really cool. Like, she's coming back. She's taking the lead. That's not the case. She's only in this movie for so long. Like, they just bring her back just to kind of, you know, appeal to the fans of the original, kind of. Just to kind of just bring her in, like, oh, well, you know. And she even says herself, I wasn't in the room with the priest or whatever. I wasn't there for the exorcism, but she was my daughter, so maybe I could help with your daughters. Like, it's just... There's only so much they can do with her in the movie. Like, she's in it and then she's out type of thing, you know? And then she's out for a while. No spoilers in it, but she's out for a long time. And it's not like towards the end of the movie you get to see her again. So I feel like the use of her wasn't that good, wasn't that strong, wasn't that compelling. What freaked me out about the original, let's talk about the original, because you've seen the original, right? What freaked you out about that movie?
I think I was younger, so that's one thing. I think being younger, I was scared of like even the Poltergeist movies, the Freddy Krueger movies. You know, those all freaked me out. Now I look at them and I'm like, oh, that's not so scary. So I think I'm desensitized.
You think so?
So even this movie, I wasn't even that scared.
Yeah.
I was desensitized. I think that's a lot of it, or maybe it just didn't have enough scare factors in it. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a combination of both. Like it wasn't scary enough.
Yeah.
Because it should be scary to make adults even get scared. I only jumped a few times just because I was expecting more. Like, okay, it's gonna come. It's gonna scare me.
Nothing.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that was it.
Yeah.
Let's go get a drink. Let's take a quick nap.
Yeah.
Let's
Bathroom
go ahead.
break.
Bathroom break. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. No, like for me, yeah, and that's a good point. Like maybe we're just older now and not scared. We've seen it all, type of thing. But again, there's a lot going on in this movie. It's like they try to, you know, chunk everything all in one thing. And even like comparing it to the original, and you know, there's people out there that say, well, you can't compare it to the original. You have to. Because this is like a remake, reboot. You have to compare it to the original. It's called The Exorcist, believer. So, drawing those comparisons, like what really freaked me out about the original is you have the two priests, and they're in this one room for pretty much the whole movie. Yeah, you could see like how she's transitioning into this demon, like slowly, and like she's like, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. Linda Blair, the original actress who played the little girl, amazing performance. These kids, they're okay. They're okay, but I'm telling you, I believed it. I felt it. I felt the chills down my spine when I saw Linda Blair become the Exorcist girl. And it's like a gradual thing in the movie, and you're just trapped in a room. Like, you feel so claustrophobic, I kind of want to say, because there's only three people, the two priests and the girl. And then downstairs you have the mother. And this one, there's like 5 people in one room, and it's like, it doesn't even look like a bedroom. I think they're in like their garage or something. Like, you can see like the whole house is in the background. It looks like they're in a big ass house. There's just so much going on, and there's like 5 people, and the 5 people are like, they come out of nowhere. Like, I just like, where do I know this person from? Why is that person important to me, you know? And then there's not a lot of character development. That's what I'm trying to say with the 5 people in the room. So you're like, well, why do I care if they die or what? You're like, what's the point? Like, and that's all I will say. The selling point for me that I did enjoy this movie a lot is the makeup. Bottom line, I love the makeup. They really went all out on the visual effects. There's a part like that pays homage to the original, like Throw Up, the green slime coming out, which I won't spoil for you guys, but that was really cool. They took a whole different turn to it. They weren't just trying to recreate that. They added like more to it, and I was like, wow, that's really cool what they did there. So for that, I say the movie's at least watchable. Like, if you're a fan of the original, definitely still go out to see it. It's not complete dog shit, but
or maybe just wait for it to come out on stream service or video.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money at the theater. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
It's not like a movie you should pay top dollar for. Like, go see a matinee, like if it's really itching you to go see it, just because it's Exorcist and that's an iconic movie.
And just make sure you don't fall asleep, because
Bring pillows with you. Make sure you're nice and comfortable when you go.
that's why I said watch it at your house, because if you fall asleep,
Yeah.
you can rewind
Yeah, you
and
know.
watch the parts you missed later when you're more awake.
Listen to Momager. She knows best. Anyways, how would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
Maybe a 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say a 6 too. But yeah, a part of me wants to go a little bit higher just because of the makeup.
Yeah.
But you just can't base a movie solely because it's got great makeup and practical effects. That's only a little portion of the movie, you know? And I feel like there's just so much in the story. Like, if they just would have kept with, like, that brilliant, you know, beginning with the earthquake and then, you know, about, you know, the guy recovering from losing his wife, you have a great movie there. But then, like, the second half, you want to tie it into The Exorcist. It's like, what the hell? It's like you have 2 separate movies. You can't decide on what you want it to be. I guess the first one wasn't selling, so you have to somewhat, you know, draw it to a popular franchise and just call it The Exorcist. But yeah, and even like bringing in the legacy characters, it didn't work. I was kind of disappointed. You know, there was even an ending where it's like, you know, like they try to appeal to fan service by bringing in another legendary actor to the mix, and it was just like she was just there for a couple seconds. It's like, where are you going with this? Anyways, guys.
Before I fall asleep again, we're gonna wrap this up.
I'm already going on rant mode now.
And I'm about to fall asleep.
Oh, sorry, Momager.
I'm just kidding.
Alrighty, guys. Well, let us know in the comment section if you're going to watch this movie. If you want to go the Momager route and just stream it when it comes out. Let us know what you think, if you saw it, what you thought. Anyways, you guys, Kenneth Ramon.
Heather Hyatt, peace out.
Signing off! Bang! Jump scare.